Shalom. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. The mindset of an effeminate man. The mindset of an effeminate man. Man, in this daytime and hour, we are living in a generation that promotes effeminate men and promotes masculine women. Man, after watching Ask the Elect last night, man, it blew my mind the hatred that some men have towards other men that have a strong work ethic. And I'm talking about sweat equity. That blew my mind. You know, that somebody could sit up and say, man, what does building houses, what does gardening and what does living set apart in the physical, sense have to do with anything? Blew my mind. Man, I've seen some of the most inspiring men that have physical limitations motivate me. I've seen veterans that are missing both legs fought the system as amputees to try to stay in and get out and put more physical work in than a lot of people walking around. And that, I can only tell you, to the level of motivating and inspiring that had to see somebody that had two prosthetic legs getting out, still running, getting after it. And then you have the spirit of a man that'll say who he think he is, why he got to be doing all that. It blew my mind last night to hear that you have men out there that will hate on a man because the man is living up to the fullest potential, even in righteousness, even in physical capabilities, and is returning to the old path. Blew my mind. I thought about a particular passage, and then looking at the etymology of it, there's so much wisdom, and you always can learn as a man. You'll experience this once you start living set apart and you come out from among them. Because we got Israelites that love the way of the world but want to be counted as righteous, and secretly they will be hating on those who labor. You'll experience this even your family. Let you start getting into gardening and agriculture and returning to that old path. Who you think you is? People will secretly hate on you because you're learning how to grow your own food, learning how to return to them old paths. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with righteousness and none of that. Man, there's a spiritual connection in touching that soil. All of these parables that we read about, cutting the vine and good fruit and bad fruit, it will remain a parable until you put it into action. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if, you're 80, 90 years old and you're finally getting that truth. It doesn't matter if you say, you know what, I'm going to grow me some herbs. Just a small little section, I'm going to grow me some herbs. That's all I physically can do. At least you accepted it. But you got men out here that want to beat on their chest, claim to be righteous, claim to be Israelites, and will hate on other laborious men. I don't get that. I don't get it. And this is where the fruit matters. The fruit matters. I'm telling you, I've seen people with disability, physical limitations in righteousness get after it. And then you have able-bodied men that want nothing to do with laborious tasks. don't want to get their hand. Man, you got to understand, the generation of the army that I joined in is different than the generation now. So I almost lose a fuse when I see male soldiers not want to lift anything because, hey, I'm going to mess up my clear now. I'm going to mess up my nails. Man, I can't sweat. I got this stuff in my hair and my hair. So I'll be like, what the heck kind of spirit is on you? You have to think. The spirit of an effeminate man has a lot to do with why we have masculine women. You know, even in Israel, you have women, some of the most feminine women, pure women, that will work harder than a lot of these worldly men. They will get after righteous laborers' task more than a lot of these Bible thumping Israelites that want you to think that they are living in righteousness, but secretly they're hating on those who labor. And we saw some of that last night on Ask the Elect. Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 verse 15. This is a passage that is very easy to mistake what it's talking about. It says, hate not laborious work. You got some men that hate laborious work. Oh, I ain't doing that. I'm not getting my hands dirty on that. It says, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry. Now, if you think about this and you really don't get into etymology and you just think about, okay, let me go off of what I think that means. You're going to be thinking about that means your duties as a husband. But the etymology of that, husbandry, Hebrew word 127, grounds, lands, till the land, farming, agriculture, work for produce of the ground. So you read, nowhere in the whole of the book does it support a lazy or effeminate man. You won't enter the kingdom. Husbandry. You got to think, you have people that rather listen to sow a seed ministries where they just taking money rather than hearing somebody say, you know what? Hey, go get you a real pack of seeds. Next time you eat some fruit, save them seeds, plant them in that soil. You got people that hate that. Men that hate that. Blows my mind. Which the Most High hath ordained. You look at the judgment on Adam, and you look at a lot of why the families today have fallen apart. You look at the judgment for Adam, you think about an Adam, everything falling apart without an Adam, the man being the head of the family, and then families falling apart. We got a lot of, I'm telling you as a man, not to throw no shot, not to throw no shade, you got to look within yourself. And today, they push this sigma, alpha male, they push this false masculinity to where it's all about looking masculine. No. Are you willing to do the labor of a man based upon your capabilities? And your limitations based upon capabilities can't be based upon your feelings. Well, I feel like I can't get out there in the sun. I feel like I'm too good to put my hands on wood and to labor, to till this soil. You got to look within yourself. Man, I realized all of the time frame where I was still operating like an Egyptian man, very vain, wearing earrings and all of that, didn't even realize how lazy I was. You got to think, that stuff originated in Egypt. Israelites had to be pulled out of Egypt because they was learning all of these effeminate ways. You got to look at modern day. A lot of these women are going harder than the men. And as a man, you have to, it can't be in your household in the union of marriage You just boast in your chest saying, I'm a man. No, what makes you a man? It's them works. A woman is not going to respect you as an effeminate man because you don't prove yourself to be a man. You see what I'm saying? Man, there's brothers out there that don't realize they got that effeminate spirit on them. You know, and you the first one. You see a roach, you up the wall. You see what I'm saying? Instead of that testosterone that the Most High Yah gave you and your body producing more of it, letting that masculinity show. You know, I have balance in my house because I'm the carrier of the majority of masculinity, and my wife is the carrier of doggone femininity, and we balance each other out. Both of us complete laborious tasks, but she's not a man. I'm a man. I'm not a woman. She's the woman. So it blew my mind last night to see some of the comments from men that when it comes to labor, they will, and then you have to think, man, there's a spirit attached to that because nowadays you have people that are carnally minded. They get so much education in this Roman Greco college system that they start looking down on the men that's laborious. Oh, I'm too good to do that. I'm too good to unclog a toilet. I'm too good to work with my hands. Man, that's a mindset of an effeminate man. I'm not saying that as a man you cannot use your mind, but also it's meant for you to use these. It's meant for you to use these. 2 Chronicles 26:10. Also, he built towers in the desert and digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plains, husbandmen also, and vine dressers in the mountains, and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. He loved tilling the land, loved dressing the field. Man, that's laborsome work. You got to understand, this thing about being set apart goes a lot deeper than you just knowing the scriptures, knowing what they say. No, set apart is in action. A lot of Christians don't realize. They look at a message like this and say, oh, this is wicked and evil. You know why? Because you're dealing with a bunch of men that hate laborious husbandry. They want to read and pull from an agricultural book, but don't want to actually be a doer of the word. Jeremiah 29:5. Just for following this instruction, you got men that will hate on you. Build you houses and dwell in them, and plant you gardens and eat the fruit of them. Man, that's what men in righteousness should be working towards. For me, that started with, okay, man, I don't have no idea what I'm doing. Let me study up. Let me get some books. Let me watch a couple videos. Let me go buy a plant at Lowe's or from my nursery and start to realize, and so much righteous wisdom came from that. Because I started realizing, oh man, I got a piece of this fruit that's growing and it's infected, and I got to prune it. That's the same way you have to cut people that's lawless off in your life. But until you actually go through the motions of that labor, dressing the vine, you won't even understand. You're not gonna have the level of understanding that it's meant for you to have in righteousness because you hate laborious work, neither husbandry. James chapter 2, verse 17. So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. See, the problem where you catch the hatred in, everybody wants to have faith. Ain't nothing wrong with having faith. But it tells you in the word, if that faith does not have works, it's dead. And that's where you catch a lot of the hatred from. Well, dang, you make faith seem like it's laborious and we got to be doing that. That's because you do. The instruction is there. Matthew chapter 10, verse 22. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. You got to think about it. Man, the average worldly man that is capable of laborious work, even if they have knowledge of what the book says, chances are that flesh is gonna overcome them, and they're gonna say, you know what, man, they're gonna make excuse. I don't even have time to try to plant no vegetables. I don't even have time to try to keep these feast days. I don't have time to be learning how to build. Man, I'm gonna just go to the grocery store. That's convenient. Man, I know I should be trying to learn how to build a house, build structures, getting. I'm just keep on getting a mortgage and renting. You see what I'm saying? Buying the meat from the girl. I understand if you got limitations. That's one thing. But being able-bodied and the Most High Yah waking you up, giving you strength, giving you movement, giving you sound mind, and you choose not to do it because you want to stay in the AC and be convenient and be comfortable, hey, man, you can be comfortable all you want. But when tribulation comes, you're going to realize you're not prepared. You know, you got everything you know is up in here and has never been demonstrated through these hands. Man, there's a lot of lessons that come from using these, using your strength as a man through laborious tasks and husbandry. You can avoid a lot of health issues just by dressing the vine, just by agricultural. But you have men out here that's got some hatred in their heart towards men that get after it in righteousness. That blew my mind. And it goes with, okay, as a man, you care more about your looks, you care more about your nails, you one of these Kirk Franklin brother where you got lip gloss popping, you doggone worried more about your eyebrows and what being vain. Man, that's the mindset of an effeminate man. Instead of embracing the suck that's righteous. I'm telling you, there's times where the Most High Yah, when you are getting when you're getting your labor on and you out there drenched with sweat and you think you can't go no further, man, there is a goodness in that to when you start giving praise to the Most High Yah. Hey, I just got to keep digging. If I can dig 5 more feet, if I can, just stay out here 30 more minutes and keep giving all praise to the Most High Yah, man, he'll pour that strength into you. But a lot of men are stuck with this effeminate mindset because they never engage in laborious tasks. They want to be comfortable. I'm telling you, man, you got these jokers. I don't get it, man. It's my longest videos will be on the Sabbath, the day of rest. And then you got it. I be like, man, how can you have any fruit in your life if you spend hours on a day that you should be working 6 days you shall? How can you have any fruit? And this is closer to y'all Ministries, kicking that thing gun barrel straight.